Here comes Miss Brown now, rattling her teeth. Her face is like allergic to me.
Mr. Walker had a meeting for the floor managers this morning. That's why I'm late. I've something to tell you all. You can stand up straight. You're a slovenly mess. Now, don't forget, you belong to Mr. Walker, and in his time you have to be sober and smart. Now stand up straight and button those blouses. You're like loose women, the lot of you. And who is this?
Oh, this is Sarah Watts, my neighbour's daughter. We were just wondering if there would be a job going for her.
What age are you, child?
I've just turned 12 and I'm really strong and healthy. Never had a call for a cold.
The mill'll soon change that.
What did you say, Margaret?
Oh, I'm just glad she's not fat.
Oh, well, I suppose you have a point. You're small enough to crawl under the looms. I'll give you a fortnight's trial at half wages and we'll see how you get on.
Oh, that'll be grand. Her mother will be so pleased.
Well, as I was saying earlier, Mr. Walker is having protective guards fitted in all the machinery. So there'll be no more cut hands or fingers making a mess of the fine linen. Right, now, come along. No dawdling.
I told you, Betty, there's new laws coming out for these greedy employers for women's working rights.
You could be right, Margaret. See, next time you're going to hear that James Conley speak, let me know. I wouldn't mind hearing what he has to say.
Why won't you tell me what all the fuss is about? I know that you're up to something.
Never you mind. All I can tell you is I can't take you out Saturday night. I'm going to be busy.
It's all very strange. Half the men in the back gates are going to be busy on Saturday night.
What do you mean half the men? You tell me who's not going to be busy.
Well, old Mr. Curtin-Duff is too frail to be up to no good. And Mr. Watts, sure, isn't he still in his bed?
I suppose they are excused.
You make it sound like you've been commanded to do something. Is this anything to do with the Home Rule fight and the Ulster Volunteers?
You're asking me too many questions. You're not my wife yet, you know.
Do you think we'll ever win, Archie?
Of course we will, sweetheart. Haven't I told you I've only had a job and some prospects? I'd walk you down the aisle tomorrow. It'd certainly make asking your father for your hand that much easier.
Oh, Archie's not so bad. And I don't give a fiddler's about money. I know something will turn up for you. But if it means that much to you, I'll wait.
That's my girl.
As long as you find work before I'm old and grey, I'm not shuffling up the aisle on a walking stick.
You'll always be beautiful to me. But you know, I think you have to be going here because Dad and Bert will be coming along very soon.
Oh, more of this mass business, I suppose.
Here's your wee show.
All right. Just be careful.
Of course I'll be careful, but like, I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Bye.
Where's Emily?
He's gone. Where's Bert?
Oh, he's coming. Bert, get in here and shut that door.
There he is, eh, Bert? So you managed to escape from Ruby's grass for an hour or so? Oh, yeah. Sorry, Rebecca's grass.
Yeah, I had to tell her it's delivery run to Belfast.
Sit here, Bert. Oh, it's something to do with the delivery run. Archie and I need to talk to you about.
Oh, that sounds anomalous.
You take a cup of tea? Sorry, there's nothing stronger. You know, Betty won't allow the hard stuff in the house.
Cup of tea be great, but what's all this about?
Can we trust you to keep your mouth shut?
Of course, Mr. Stratton. Discretion's my middle name. Here's your cup.
Now, you're aware of the fight against Home Rule. The Ulster Volunteers have been told that shipments of 2,000 rifles and ammunition will be landed along the Antrim and Down coast on Saturday night.
There will be boats coming into Donegal. The local boys will have to take over the harbour and take the guns to a safe place. This is where you come in.
We need you to be at Donegal on Saturday night at 9 o'clock in your Wellworth truck.
I don't think Ruby will come for us. She likes to be in bed for 10.
We're not asking Ruby, agent. We are not talking about going for a fish supper. This is a military operation.
And remember, tell Ruby nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing.
I tell Ruby everything.
This is men's business. Are you a man, Bert?
In what sense? The lorry is locked behind the store at night time. I am sorry.
You will be sorry you're not there on Saturday night. Big Jock will not take no for an answer.
Big Jock?
You'll have to think of something.
What's he doing?
Shh. He's thinking.
Edgar, you're going to tell your boss that the lorry broke down the road. You need to give it fixed, and you'll have it back with him by Sunday.
Are you sure you didn't tell anyone you were coming here?
No! Not even Ruby!
Get him going.
Who is it?
Alright, open up.
Oh, quick, act natural. George, get you in here.
George.
Only me!
We're having a wee cup of tea, George. Do you want one?
Aye, that'd be grand.
Remember my brother-in-law, Bert?
Ah, sure. That was some wedding bash. I remember the thick head out the next morning. Sure, I nearly missed my post route. Yeah, Ruby organised it all.
I believe that, all right.
What in the world is in that sack?
Oh, it's a wee piglet. But don't ask me how I got it. I just thought your Betty might like it.
You want to court my sister, you'd be better buying her a bunch of flowers, not a pig.
Ah, go way on. I just thought you'd do some scraps and get fit for tape for Christmas.
Well, that's very kind of you, but there's never any scraps in this house. Nora next door takes care of that.
You better not let the rent man, you know what's here. You know, people in the back deeds have already been warned about having donkeys and chickens in the backyard.
Sometimes, I don't know if you're winding me up, but you're really going to have a pig in your backyard.
And why not? You'll not be turning your nose up at a few slices of bacon at Christmas.
Well, I can just picture Ruby's face when she hears like this.
Oh, better get it out into the backyard, out of the road, eh?
Well, are you all set for Saturday night? These two are trying to get me spin my Wilbur's lorry and go gun running. You should be jumping at the opportunity to help your country. Who's your manager over in Bangor anyway? Henry Jones from Ballymcgee. Ah, believe you me, you'll have no worries getting a lorry. Sure, Jones will be giving you the keys, for goodness sake. Isn't he Grand Master at 34 Lodge?
Ah, right then, that's sorted.
But where'd I take this shipment? Don't worry. Big Jock will tell you on Saturday night. I reckon there's going to be hundreds there, you know. Donegal's going to be black with men.
Ah, would you look at that, boys? Precious cargo is running in at 3 o'clock at the Curragh. How's that for an omen? That's got to be worth a bob or two.
All right, lads. Here's the Saturday night.
And gun running.
Tell me now when I go home, the boys won't leave the girls alone. She's marching 1, 2, 3. Tell me home, tell me now when I go home, the boys won't leave the girls alone. My hair's gone like home, that's alright till I go home. She's handsome, she's pretty, she's better than they got to be. She's marching 1, 2, 3.
Right, Dad. You get your nose out of that paper. You know around it.
You what? Sure, I got the last one.
You're a flyman, I'll give you that.
I'm not your dad, George Gordon. It's Mr. Stratton to the likes of you.
Listen to you. You're starting to sound like our Rebecca. Come on, chop chop.
Ah, you're not too old to go over my knee, boy. Now, none of you touch my paper while I'm away. I'll know if you did. I learned a lot from my military days, especially how to pick out dodgy beans. Watching you, Bert.
What does he mean? He's watching me, Bert?
He's only kidding on. You know, I think he comes out of his shell a bit when he's down here in McCabe's. He can relax, just surrounded by the men folk. But he worries an awful lot about our Ruby, about our Rebecca. Always did.
Aye. He worries about you too, Archie. All this doing wee bits and bobs around the town, trying to make a few shillings as a handyman. Well, it's all well and good, but he worries that you can't find a decent job.
Nah, I know.
Remember last month when we picked up that special shipment?
Shush, man, shush!
Shush yourself, I'm only making a point. Well, that night down at the harbour, his eyes never left you. He watched you like a hawk, so he did. But I could see how torn he was. It was written all over his face. Well, he was proud of you, Archie, no doubt about it. But he was also afraid. Afraid of what's to come and your part in it.
Our part in it, George, all of us. Dad included. And you know, he always said to me, a bit of fear is healthy.
Said what now?
I was just saying, when I was wee, you used to say a bit of fear is healthy. Remember, you used to always say it.
Aye, it's true, boys. Fear can keep you alive. I learned that out in Africa during the Boer War. I saw many things out there. Horrible things. Brave things. Do you know what bravery is? It's conquering fear. Acting despite the fact that you have fear in your heart. It's holding the line. Making a stand. It's advancing into the face of death. When you stand before a line of rifles pointed at your head, or even spears, or swords for that matter, if you don't feel fear at that, then you're just playing thick.
Yeah. Why was he looking at me when he said thick? I've never heard you talk about the war, Mr. Stratton.
Ah, it was a terrible war, Bert. All wars are, I suppose. But I was there, so it was my war. I was in the 1st Battalion in Enniskillen Fusiliers, and we saw plenty of action against the Boers. Fierce fighters they were. As the war progressed, we were the front line, supported by the Connaught Rangers and part of the Dublins. We were all soldiers, brothers in arms. Do you think it mattered to us what religion or other cause the man beside us clung to? Others came later to the fight as we tried to take a steep hill on the eastern side of the Langerwacht, close to Colenso. It was chaos.
What happened? Is that where you hurt your leg?
Aye, it is. We tried to dig our trenches under continuous fire from the front and flanks. We fixed bayonets and tried to press ahead to the next line of trenches on the crest of the hill. This failed miserably. Our boys were mown down like grass. And as darkness set in, those left had to fall back to a position near the foot of the hill. It was impossible to bring in all the dead and wounded. And throughout the next day, we watched men lie in the open, writhing with pain and thirst, and mercilessly fired on if they made an attempt to crawl down the hill. The losses in the attack were appalling. We lost our gallant Colonel Thackeray, Major Sanders and Lieutenant Stewart killed. 8 officers maimed, 165 wounded, and over 50 men killed. The Dublins, Connaughts and Imperial Light Infantry had over 330 casualties. In that battle I saw bravery, all in a place of nightmares. Saved a man's life there too, and I took a bullet for it. War is hell, son. Never think it is anything other than that, whatever the cause. But now, we've a war on our own doorstep, and against our own government to boot. But despite everything, some wars are righteous and must be fought.
Aye.
Not all, but some. Well, this one is a just cause to raise arms to, as God is my witness.
Aye.
Mightn't come to that.
Ever the optimist, eh, Bert? It's not that we want this. You know, I just want to live out my days in peace with Emily. George, he's happy doing his post round. But they've passed their Home Rule Act. Now is the time. Their rifles are here. And soon we'll be mobilising. And where that takes us, only the good Lord can see. But you remember what happened at the Curragh camp at Kildare? The British Army refused to move against us. They know we have the right of this, and we will prevail.
Aye.
But does Ulster not have some special accord?
What does that even mean, Bert? Special accord? I'm telling you, boys, it's a scary time.
He's right, you know. Don't forget, home rule is Rome rule.
Aye.
The allegiance of those who want to control Ireland is not to Westminster, but to Rome.
That's right.
A Catholic nation for a Catholic people, I've heard it said. Now, where does that leave the likes of us? Where is the freedom of religion in that?
Aye.
The shadow of war is upon us. Make no mistake, I've seen it before, and it's here now, boys. Even though we know the cost, we must make a stand.
Aye. This is all getting very serious. Come on, look, we're down the caves. We're having a wee drink. Right, Dad, you have a wee look in your paper. You pick as a winner.
Well, there's this old nag I've had my eye on. Call the Arms. It's a 10-to-1 shot. But I feel it in these old bones that she's a sure thing.
Call to arms. I'm sure you're right, Mr. Stratton. Sure, your skill with the horses, well, it's legendary.
Shut your beak, me to be sarcastic. Anyway, it's your round, George. Away you go.
Aye.
And don't forget your wallet.
Aye.
We're the boys of Belfast town, ranting, roaring, rumbling round. We're Irishmen of high renown. That's the boys of Belfast. We're the boys of Belfast town, ranting, roaring, rumbling round. We're Irishmen of high renown. That's the boys of Belfast. You will find us anywhere, in the church or on the tear. Brave and bold is not so rare. At the boys of Belfast.
Good morning, Mr. Moore.
Good morning, Mrs. Fletcher. And how can I help you?
Fine July day, isn't it? Could I have 4 slices of your finest cooked ham